Kyle Richards doesn't regret RHOBH walkout after being ambushed. Kyle Richards has become the queen of Amazon Lives, and during her latest livestream, she had plenty to say about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That RHOBH star was at the center of controversy in the latest episode, A Perfect Storm Out. The OG opened up about the dramatic scene, claiming that she was ambushed after arriving at the event organized by Bozoma St. John. What was meant to be a healing spa day for the women became a nightmare for Kyle. Things got so bad that she eventually stormed out, still clad in her robe and bath slippers. What we didn't know is that Kyle was going through a period of depression during filming, and admittedly should have taken the season off. She briefly quit the show, at one point telling production she couldn't film anymore. However, that was short-lived, and she returned a week later. RHOBH star Kyle Richards says she's constantly ambushed by her castmates. We've been tuned into season 14 of RHOBH, but the same can't be said for Kyle Richards. The Bravo star confessed that she's chosen to miss the last 3 episodes due to her anxiety, admitting that the show has been frustrating and hard to watch. Kyle made the admission during a recent Amazon Live, noting that she felt ambushed many times throughout the season, starting with Sutton's party in the premiere. It was like starting right out of the gate, reasoned the 56-year-old. I started feeling like even people who I thought were my friends I had to question, and I was honestly depressed at that time. I really was. Kyle admitted she should have taken the season off given her mental state. I was not equipped to deal with walking into those settings and feeling like I was being ambushed every time, she added. Kyle has no regrets about storming out of the Healing Spot event. The final straw for Kyle was at Bozoma's event, where once again she got into it with the group about her communication with Dorit Kemsley's husband PK. Eventually she stormed out of the spa party in tears and talked about that dramatic moment on her Amazon Live. I'm not proud of how I handled walking out of Boz, but I don't regret walking out, exclaimed Kyle. I honestly was at a breaking point, and that was it. The OG also threw shade at her castmate Sutton Strack, who she heard had something to say when she left. I have not walked off filming or walked out in all of the years I've been on the show. I'm going on 15 years here. She has walked out many times, retorted Kyle. Kyle Richards has never been one to hold her tongue, but when it came to her dramatic walkout on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she has no regrets. In a candid conversation following the episode that left fans gasping, Kyle opened up about what led to her explosive departure and why she stands firmly by her decision. The fateful moment came during a group dinner at Dorit Kemsley's opulent mansion. What started as a seemingly innocuous gathering quickly turned into a battlefield. Tensions had been brewing for weeks, and it didn't take much to tip the scales. Kyle found herself in the crosshairs, facing accusations and veiled jabs from multiple directions. The ambush, as she later described it, was more than she could take. It was like being backed into a corner, Kyle shared in an exclusive interview. I felt attacked and completely blindsided. There was no way I could stay there and continue to be part of something that felt so toxic. As the drama unfolded on screen, viewers saw Kyle visibly shaken, her voice trembling as she tried to defend herself against a barrage of allegations. The tension reached a boiling point when Erica Jane, always known for her sharp tongue, accused Kyle of stirring the pot in her ongoing feud with Lisa Rinna. Adding fuel to the fire, Sutton Strack chimed in, suggesting Kyle had been playing both sides, a claim Kyle vehemently denied. I've always prided myself on being honest and upfront with everyone, Kyle said. To have that questioned in such a public way was devastating. In the episode, Kyle's frustration reached its peak when Dorit, someone she considered a close friend, appeared to side with her critics. The betrayal was palpable, and it was clear that Kyle's patience had run out. Without a word, she stood up, her chair scraping loudly against the floor, and walked out of the room. The stunned silence that followed spoke volumes. Fans took to social media almost immediately with opinions split. Some applauded Kyle for standing up for herself, while others criticized her for leaving the conversation unfinished. But for Kyle, the decision wasn't about winning an argument, it was about self-preservation. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from situations that no longer serve you, she explained. That's what I did. It was the healthiest choice I could make in that moment. Kyle's walkout was more than just a dramatic television moment, it was a turning point in her personal and professional life. After the episode aired, she took some time to reflect on her journey with the show. Having been a part of RHOBH since its inception, Kyle has weathered countless storms, but this one felt different. "I've given so much of myself to this show over the years," she said, "but there comes a point where you have to ask yourself if it's worth it. Am I sacrificing my peace for the sake of entertainment?" Kyle's decision to prioritize her well-being didn't come lightly. She admitted to wrestling with feelings of guilt and responsibility, knowing how much the fans and her castmates rely on her presence. But ultimately, she realized that staying in a toxic environment would do more harm than good. "Walking away doesn't mean you're weak," she asserted. "It means you're strong enough to put yourself first." The aftermath of Kyle's exit was as dramatic as the walkout itself. Cast members scrambled to make sense of what had happened, with some expressing regret over their role in the confrontation. Dorit, in particular, seemed torn, grappling with her loyalty to Kyle and her desire to maintain peace within the group. "I never wanted to hurt Kyle," Dorit admitted in a tearful confessional. "I'm not sure how we move forward from this." For Kyle, the walkout also served as a wake-up call about her relationships with her castmates. She began reevaluating who she could truly trust and whether some friendships were worth salvaging. While she acknowledged the bonds she's formed over the years, she also recognized the need for boundaries. "Friendship is a two-way street," she said. "If someone isn't willing to meet you halfway, then maybe it's time to let them go." Kyle's walkout has sparked broader conversations about the pressures of reality television and the toll it takes on its stars. In an era where mental health awareness is more important than ever, her decision to step away, even temporarily, resonated with many viewers who applauded her courage. "We often forget that these women are human beings with real emotions," one fan wrote on Twitter. Good for Kyle for standing up for herself. As for what's next, Kyle is keeping her options open. While she hasn't ruled out a return to RHOBH, she's also exploring other opportunities, including a potential book deal and her own wellness brand. For now, she's focused on spending quality time with her family and rediscovering what brings her joy. "Life is too short to be anything but happy," she said. "I'm choosing to focus on the things that truly matter." Kyle's walkout may have been a dramatic moment on screen, but it's also a powerful reminder of the importance of self-care and knowing when to walk away. Whether or not she returns to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, one thing is certain: Kyle Richards is determined to live life on her own terms.